Manchester United hero David Beckham has recalled how the groundwork for Lionel Messi blockbuster switch to MLS started a number of years before he eventually agreed to join the club. David Beckham has described how the foundations for Lionel Messi's move to Inter Miami were laid during a secret meeting with the star's dad 4 years before the deal was struck. The Miami co-owner was able to pull off the transfer of a lifetime when he saw off the challenges of Barcelona and the Saudi Pro League to land his man. Now, the former England captain has recalled how the groundwork for the blockbuster switch was put in place while Messi was still at Camp Nou. The World Cup winner's move to MLS may have caught some observers off guard in the summer, but it appears that it was the realization of a long-term vision for Beckham. He sat down with an ensemble cast of pundits including Gary Neville and Roy Keane to recount the tale on the Just Stick to Football podcast. In a roundtable discussion with Jamie Carragher, Ian Wright and Jill Scott, Beckham held court as he described how the deal was signed. He recalled, "When I started this journey, 10 years ago, announcing that I was starting a team in Miami, my vision was always to bring the best players." Going into more detail about how his charm offensive began while Messi was still turning out for Barcelona, he explained, "I suppose as an owner of a team, you always want to bring in the best players, but the chance of bringing in the best is difficult and always challenging. But then, I sneaked into Messi's dad's hotel about 4 years ago in Barcelona for a meeting with him, and obviously, at that point, we weren't ready to bring him in and he wasn't ready to come. I turned around to his dad and said, 'We want your son, we want him to come to Miami when he's ready, and if that's a possibility.'" With co-owners Jorge and Jose Mas both aligned with Beckham's vision, the former Real Madrid superstar revealed how all hands were on deck to make the deal a reality. He added, "We continued the conversations, and with my partners, Jorge Mas and Jose Mas, we just worked on it for about 4 years. When he was at Paris Saint-Germain, we saw an opportunity and he was either going to go back to Barcelona, or to Miami, but then suddenly, everything aligned, and we were still having the conversations, of course. The rest is very much history as Beckham and his partners eventually convinced Messi to commit his future to the Inter Miami project. The megastar forward has very much repaid the team's owners with his contributions during the early months of his tenure stateside too. Incredibly, the 36-year-old already had 11 goals in his opening 12 appearances in all competitions for Vice City and already has silverware under his belt. After being made captain by Tata Martino, he led his teammates to glory in the League Cup, landing the club's first ever trophy in the process.